Alright, you guys ready?
Uh-huh.
So for this time, I'll be hosting this mirror debate.
Oh,
Alright, how you feeling, Daniel?
I'm feeling great.
What about you, Logan?
Very motivated.
Okay.
I'm ready to kick his
Okay, let's not get too serious here.
Mr. Dodge. I can barely hear you.
What?
I could barely hear you, sorry.
Yeah, I turned up my voice up a bit. Is that better? Maybe?
Yes.
Alright. So any problems, just tell me.
Alright, each candidate, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay. Hello. I'm Daniel Prescott. I am the Law and Order candidate. I plan to, well, pass prison reform, better gun laws, bum law reform law, right to protest in any outfit, and make it legal to drive golf carts, tractors, and many more vehicles in the city.
Okay. Logan, introduce yourself and your campaign.
Alright, well, I'm Logan Dodge. I'm running for mayor, for the third month in a row. I'm trying to bring a lot of change, because I feel like it's necessary. I want to bring back bum fights law, which is kind of obvious by, if you read my platform. I also want to bring a benefits package to PD and EMS workers, because they gladly do deserve it, for what the hard work they put in is. I want to increase gun and weapon prices across the board because they're way too low for what they are, and they definitely need a big months. Prohibit gun licenses to people under the age of 21. And I'll explain more of this later if necessary. And the prices of the rented vehicles outside of City Hall, I feel like those should be reduced because they're way too high for newcomers to the city. But I understand the intention, so hopefully we can change that.
Sounds pretty good. Alright. So let's start with Logan first. Logan, what are the most important challenges facing our city, and how do you propose to address them?
So at the current moment, I feel like it has to do with guns. Gun laws are, in place, but they're not that good. It's very easy for people to get access to a gun license and guns themselves, which is a huge issue, especially when we have a serial killer in the city, who's gone rogue, who's targeted me, who's targeted Prescott, and many other people in this room as well, including our current mayor, Miss
So
Clairvoyant
can you
Manson
sit
is
down
also
for a
being
second?
targeted. Okay.
Oh my. This one.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry about that.
So I just want to change some of the laws and put in some new laws for guns that will help definitely put it in place and make it so it's harder to access guns if you have them, and give stricter punishments for people who decide to go against the laws that we have in place.
Okay. Alright, so you, Daniel?
You see, what I think the city's most pressing issue is prisoners. I don't think they've learned their lesson after just going to jail. You see, I think putting prison reform in order and helping them by sending them to a prison reform school not only will bring a new job into the city and help people with getting jobs, but also help reform citizens who have gone to prison or who would rather go to reform school than prison to be more productive members of society, and helping them learn how to do legal jobs and make money the legal way and help them be better members of society.
Well, looks like you have
That's
a big
what I
fan
think
over there.
Pressing. I think that's what's the biggest issue this team is facing.
Alright, next question. many people don't have jobs at the moment, and businesses and its consumers are complaining about the lack of staffs at most of the establishment we have in the city. What will you do to ensure all citizens are taken care of with jobs and all that?
I feel like we should be able to give out more information, and there should be, you know, stuff that would be more useful for newcomers in the city to be able to find their way around, get new jobs, and get their working life started. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do. And obviously, me and Prescott and many other people here have worked their asses off to get to where we're at.
Oh,
So
definitely, yes.
I feel like we should definitely be, you know, giving more information to newcomers and people that would definitely help bring up the amount of jobs, because, you know, if people are going to complain about the jobs, we have loads of them around the city that are very useful and get you a good amount of money and start out. So it's very useful, and I just think more information would definitely help people get around easier.
Okay, what about you, Daniel? What do you think we
Let's
could
see,
do to... sir, could you sit down?
You see, I
Thank you.
offer a helicopter tour program for that very special reason right there, to help inform new citizens to the city about the best places where they can legally get jobs, where they can do things, you know, and just give them a big overview of the city by flying them over the city in a helicopter. That's I offer that, and I think if there was just a better way to get out and advertise businesses and stuff, that would definitely help get people from committing less crimes and going and doing legal jobs. I think getting the word out there and helping them with what each job offers and stuff would just be a great way to get more people doing jobs, and instead of being on the streets committing crime.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Logan, what will you do to support a vibrant economy in our city?
I feel like the economy where it's at is a little bit harsh. It could definitely be worked on. I've gotten some comments in the past that have to do with the taxes, which I've since removed from my platform because I feel like it's unnecessary. Because people don't seem to agree with it. But other than that, I feel like, you know, having the jobs and the amount of jobs we have in the city, I feel like that would definitely bring a big boost. The EMS and the PD also have their ways, specifically the EMS, because they always have their ways of, you know, being able to get good health care and everything that we should be having. You know, we've recently increased the PDM prices based on median income. So maybe if you go out there and, you know, you participate in the jobs we have around the city, then it would definitely help boost the economy a little bit to where it should be.
Okay, on to Daniel.
You know, see, my prison reform policy adds a new job which would help benefit the economy, adding a reform school and allowing more counselors and stuff in the city, adding, you know, adds several new jobs, which definitely would help boost the economy. And I have recently been doing trucking delivery, which does help towards the economy, and it does pay well, but you need lots of patience to be a trucker. As I've come to understand, it's you'd have to drive long hours and many miles to make money doing that job, but I think it's worth it if you are dedicated to working any job you want. Then I think it's worth it, and it would definitely help boost the economy by having more citizens working jobs like trucking and delivery and stuff will definitely help boost the economy. Thank you.
Okay. Right. I have heard that Pillbox charges quite high for medical care. So, not that I'm a chief of EMS or anything. what will you do to ensure that healthcare is affordable for all of the citizens?
I feel like a great way to do that would be definitely decreasing the amount that Nancy charges, because as we all know, because I'm pretty sure everyone here has been to Pillbox at least once, I feel like decreasing the amount for the care you get should be decreased at least in half, because I mean, it does. We do have healthcare for a reason, and people should be able to get the care they need without worrying about money, because there are a lot of people who go into debt because of medical care.
Nope.
And oh,
Are you leaf blowing?
I felt targeted.
Oh no.
yeah, but there's a lot of people who go into medical debt for the rest of their lives, and I feel like just reducing it by at least half or more would definitely help make it more affordable for people who can't afford it.
Okay. On to you, Daniel.
As an EMS worker myself, I think not only should it be more affordable, but I think the EMS should get the EMS workers also have to pay Nancy the same prices and stuff for medical help as well when they're not on duty. I think they should also get benefits for being EMS workers should get health benefits.
Are you
For
saying that
being-
I'm a bad boss?
No, I'm saying you're a great
Sit
boss, but I
down.
think more
I'll
to help,
sit down,
help
I'll
not
sit
only
down,
EMS
please.
workers but as well as officers get more benefit and healthcare, and as well as it be more affordable for new citizens and existing citizens. But I think those who work in the field and work hard to save lives and keep the city in order with laws and safety should get a slightly more. Should also get benefits too for working those jobs, as those jobs are very tedious and require a lot of concentration
sit
and work
down,
to
man.
do. It's not easy being a paramedic, going out there every day and saving lives. It's very, I fear for the citizens that I have to save, because I hope that they make it through the treatments that we give them and stuff. But knowing that they most likely, hopefully, will not be able to afford the care we give them, making it more affordable for them, as well as just everyone in the city needs more affordable healthcare, is what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Insightful.
Amazing, guys.
Excuse me, can I just say something real quick?
Okay.
Hi, I'm your current mayor. This is a very important process, this debate. Clapping and cheering, that's one thing, but please don't detract from these candidates who are working very hard. They deserve your time, respect, and attention. So, while clapping and cheering and all that, that's one thing. Just please keep it to a minimum, okay? All right,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Claire.
Thank you for that, Claire.
Thank you, Claire.
Okay, on to the next question. What would you do to reduce the crime rate in the city?
Well, obviously, on my platform, I'm trying to raise the age for guns as well as the gun prices and weapon prices themselves. I definitely feel like that's a good start. Obviously, giving the police some more training in terms of certain situations would definitely be useful, and I just believe that definitely getting weapons and guns and anything that can cause violence in the first place should definitely be severely out of the situation, because we don't want people committing more crime that's already happened, because we already know about the entire serial killer thing and everything that's been going on in the last few months. And I feel like the great start to reforming crime in the city would definitely be raising gun weapon prices, as well as raising the age to be able to buy them in the first place. And an illegal possession and all that should have major consequences, because we shouldn't be tolerating any crime that's happening in the city that involves guns or weapons in the first place.
No.
Okay, on to Daniel.
You see, To lower crime, my response is prisoner reform. Helping criminals who do commit crimes reform back into society. Help them learn how to be productive members of society. Because no matter how many times you raise the limit for age for guns, does that stop people from getting guns? Does that really stop them from getting a gun? They can come across a gun in various other means, other than being of age to have a license. But helping them learn their ways and being more better members of society is how you truly reduce crime in the city. That is why I think prison reform is the best solution. Thank you.
Okay. Right, last question. Do you think that the current Aqua Pit law that we have, the law about trial by combat, do you think it's effective, and how do you, give me a second. How effective do you think it is?
So, with that, I completely understand the idea and why it was put in place in the first place. And obviously, we did see our first rendition of that a few days ago with Mr. J. Johnson versus Orc War. And obviously, the result ended as the result ended. I don't see a problem with it. Obviously, it's a little bit confusing to me why it exists, but I understand that it's a way of determining by just pure strength. And I just think that Orc War is definitely a great solution because obviously he is one of the people that helps and, you know, is around the city. And he's very nice person. And I feel like keeping that in place would definitely, you know, maybe give people a chance to test their strength at Orc War, because Orc War is not a very, you know, let's just say he's kind of Hulk in terms of combat. So, yeah, I think keeping it in place would be fine. I have no problems with it in the first place, and yeah, I don't think anyone else here has problems with it from what I've seen. So keeping it in place would definitely be completely okay with me.
Yeah, go Orc War.
Okay, on to Daniel.
Criminal and just committed a petty theft crime. I mean, they didn't kill anyone, so why should they deserve to fight Orc War? That's why I promised prison reform to help with that, to help with more petty theft and you know, non-violent crimes, and then Orc War would be for the more violent crimes.
Sit
The Orc
down.
Pit. You see, that is why I agree with keeping the pit, the Orc Pit. Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving on to questions, FAQ, and just ask if you have any questions for the candidates, do a T-post and I'll call you up. Alright, Mayor Claire?
Yeah, I have an important question for mayoral candidate Logan Dodge. You talk about raising gun prices, and for full disclosure, I am a campaign manager for candidate Daniel Prescott. But this is just a legitimate question I have. So, you mentioned raising gun prices. How do you avoid creating a monopoly or gatekeeping gun violence for the wealthy? If only the wealthy can afford guns,
Sit
then
down.
the wealthy
I
are the ones
agree.
who are able to afford murder. Thank you.
So I'm not trying to benefit the wealthy in any way in terms of the prices. The prices are going to go based off if it was to get passed into the government. The basis prices would be based off the same way we go with the PDM, which is median income. So it will go across the entire genre. It will go from rich to poor to in the middle, middle class, lower class, upper class. It's gonna be equivalent to median income. It's not gonna be higher prices that are completely unbearable to people that want them for their own personal protection. So basing them off median income would definitely help even out the platform and not just targeting specific parts of society's class system. So basically, just median income would be the solution for that.
Wait, I have a question. When you say medium income, do you mean by percentage of income, or do you mean medium income?
I mean median income based on we'll take resident, so we'll do math that will get the each citizen and the job or respective jobs they have, add those total, and then get a median of what the average income of a person is, and then we'll
Objection.
take that and then base the prices off of that amount.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
No, it answered my question.
Alright. Right, on to you.
Yeah, I want to also talk about the gun pricing. Listen, I might be new to the city, but hey, I made some money and I still haven't got a gun. We barely have any police in the city to get any goddamn license. Why would we put the pricing down, man? You know.
The pricing wouldn't be going down. The pricing would be going up. But but other than that, I can't really control. I can't control the amount of police in the city. Obviously, that's not my personal. I can't judge who's going to be in the city at what times.
I can't either.
But it's all based on who comes in and when you're in the city. You just need to find a good time where you're able to meet up with a cop and talk about all of that. I can't really, change the system. The system we have is already good. I feel like going through the police is already good enough way instead of making it like a, system that's public. But getting it through a cop and going through that entire system would definitely be a more efficient way. I know there isn't that many cops that can help you at the moment, but when they're in, try to get their attention, and then you can go get a gun license if you really think you need one. So it's more of a thing that's not in my control that much, but I understand what you're saying.
I feel like you're taking it. So what I was talking about is not like going to the cops. I'm just saying it's already hard getting a gun license. Like, why would we make it more expensive? Like, what if poor people need to protect themselves, right?
Well, like I said, it's based off median income,
I just
so
feel like that's unfair. for
like
the
I'm
rich and
not
the poor.
trying to lock guns behind prices. I'm trying to lock guns behind the violence that's already gone on because of guns.
Yeah, but the violence need to be protected with weapons. Like, if we have expensive weapons and there's people out there that's getting it illegally, what are we gonna do against those people? Nothing, because the guns are too expensive, right?
Well, the guns are going to be expensive to the point where it's completely unaffordable to the person buying them, because
That's
if you're
stupid.
if you are going to buy a gun in the first
Oh,
place,
keep it civil now.
if you're going to buy a gun in the first place, you should definitely know that you're spending your money on a good cause if you want to defend yourself. I mean, there are cheaper alternatives to defending yourself that aren't guns specifically. There's also weapons we have, some that aren't the best choice, but if you don't want to buy a gun because of the price, you don't have to. But there's other ways of self-defense that aren't guns.
Okay, so what if someone robs a family of four, yeah? What are you talking about? Like, what, tasers? Sprays? No, we need guns to protect ourselves and our people in the city.
Well, guns aren't always the
Making
best
them more
solution.
expensive will make everything worse, because the black market will still stay the same pricing, while meanwhile the white market will not.
See, I don't have any control over the black market because
It's not
that's
about
not.
the black market. It's
But-
about making the prices more for us, for normal people.
Well, that's understandable. It's just that the prices that they're at right now are way too low for the average person to just go out and buy one, especially ammunition, because ammunition is the reason why people get killed in the first place, and the prices are way too low for what they are. So just
But that's
increasing
not.
them by a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit would definitely help.
But that's not what you're saying. You're saying is we're gonna check out how much you have in your bank and how much you make, and then we're gonna make that pricing, and not it's not gonna be fair for you. It's gonna be expensive for you. So if say for example, that's a guy having 100K, he's probably gonna pay like what 10K for a pistol or something like that. If a guy have a million, what is he gonna spend like 100K? Well, like what are we talking about over here?
No, so
Is this
the
about gun control?
well, yes, that's what I'm trying to do. But the thing about that is, it's not going to change because of how much money. The median income. What I'm saying about the gun prices is not based off how much money you have in the bank. It's based off the average person's income from their job. It has nothing to do with the bank at all. So basically, just take your paycheck, for example, at the mechanic. Take that and then add it with everyone else's their average job. Take that income and get the average of that, and that will be based off that's what the gun prices will be based off of. They're not going based off how much money you have there for the bank, and they're not going to change because of how much money you have in the bank. If you have $10 million in the bank, your prices aren't going to be raised.
But that's what you're initiated though. Same word out your mouth. Listen, one suggestion I can do is if you guys do more taxes on the weapons. But I feel like if you take away our rights, I mean, listen, man, like the guns are protecting us. Imagine people coming here with guns, right? Like, what can we do if
Who
we
would
can't?
come in here with a gun?
Listen, that's matter, bro. What can we do to defend, our people? Nothing, because we can't afford shit. And maybe we lose our guns or, you know, stuff like that. Defense rest.
See, I'm not going against guns. I completely understand what you're trying to say. Guns are a way of self-defense, but sometimes guns aren't always the best option in certain situations. And I know in some situations they may be the best option, but if you just allow everyone to go out and have a gun and the prices are too low and everyone has easy access to them, then people would just be going around and it would be chaos. So just basing the prices off of the income that's average to each person would definitely help, because if you're able to be in that median income, you would definitely be able to afford the guns at the price you're willing to pay for them.
Okay, but like, shouldn't it be a little bit harder for us to go to the PD though? Like instead of changing the prices and all that, it should be like maybe the PD should do a checkup on them and stuff like that.
PD has that protocol, yes.
Exactly. So why do we need to do that? If a felon, he can't get a gun. If someone have this and that, maybe you should make that a little bit stricter instead of changing the pricing.
Well, the pricing is one step into the change. I've asked before in the past when I was mayor for stricter enforcement of gun licenses, asking for background checks, and I want to put in mentality checks, because I feel like background check would check your history criminally to see if you're fit to be able to have a gun in the first place because of your criminal history. And I feel like the mental or psychological check would definitely help give access to those guns if you're if you're able to. And obviously this check would be done by someone licensed or someone at the at pillbox that has the authority to get this done. But it would just be the pricing is a step. It's not the entire change. I'm not trying to change this because this is the only change. Obviously we're going to try to do more changes if necessary, and that would be one of them. So I'm just trying to make a step. This is one step. It's a building block, but it's not the entire process that I'm trying to change.
So what's your main issue on this? Why are you doing this? If you say this is not
Because
about gun control, right?
well, no, it has to do with the amount of crime that's gone on since the start, or at least when I've been in the city. It's been, I've heard a lot of kidnappings, murders, serial killer, stuff having to do with the serial killer, the hunter, all of that I've been involved with and I've had heard of situations that have happened. And I just don't like seeing that. And I want to try to get rid of it as much as possible, not eliminate it completely because there's no way we could do that. But getting rid of as much as possible would definitely be a good step to that.
I understand where you're coming from, but
Can we give other people a
Hold on.
chance to ask
Yeah, I'm
questions as
gonna
well?
move.
Like last thing, imagine those guys that got kidnapped and all that. Imagine if they have a pistol, affordable pistol, they could defend themselves, right? All right.
Well, if you're being pointed to your head, a gun is on your head, you shouldn't be able to fight back.
No, but maybe if you have your gun out before you feel the danger, you have
Alright,
the gun out.
I'm gonna
Right.
move on to other questions now. Natalia?
Thank you for answering my
Hi.
questions.
So I have a question for Daniel. I was curious about what your prison reform program would look like for prisoners so that they can come out of prison or...
They would have the.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what it would look like.
Okay. See, we would give. I would give prisoners the option to go to prison, or choose prisoner reform and go to a school or seek counseling to help them become better members of society, and they would do this under the protection of having an officer there, along keeping watch, so that they don't escape or do anything. But they have the option to go to a school instead of going to prison, and how maybe they choose to want to better themselves in society. Now, I cannot guarantee that someone going to prison reforms going to the school will become out better members of society, but I can hope that they will learn their lesson. I can't really, But my main goal is to make to where I lower the crime rates through prison reform. Through prisoner reform. So giving the criminal the option. Now, if they're like a serial killer or a murderer, I think they definitely deserve time, and maybe the orc pit would be a better place for them to learn their lesson if they think they're strong enough to go against orc war. Thank you.
Claire, you have the question?
Yeah, Mr. Prescott.
Yes.
In a similar vein, I had a question. Does your prison reform school offer vocational training?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Alright, Jay?
I had a question for Logan Dodge, and just for clarity, I am Daniel's assistant campaign manager. Which this has nothing to do with the question I want to ask. I'm entirely unbiased. Logan said that he dropped the taxes because people don't agree with them, which implies that he still wants to push for taxes. So I'm curious, like, why? Because I don't remember anything coming from the taxes that was positive.
I'm not trying to push the taxes in the first place. It was if I was, it wouldn't have been part of my platform. But I don't want to enforce taxes anymore because obviously people didn't agree with it, and even if I was to put it in place, that would probably be worse for me. So if people don't want taxes, I'm not going to enforce taxes on you. The only reason I put taxes in the place, and I put them in place at the beginning, was because I wanted it to help benefit the economy, and people decided to make up some news that the money goes to me directly and that makes me corrupt. None of the money goes to me. I don't control any of the money that has to do with taxes in the first place, and I don't want to do anything with the taxes. And I feel like the taxes should go and benefit other things around the city, aka our police and EMS departments, or anything that could be useful, maybe city projects. Any of that would definitely help, but I'm not enforcing taxes if people don't want to pay them, and if they're gonna have if it's gonna cause more problems me putting them in place, then I'd rather just not put them in place in the first place. That's it.
Okay, any other questions? Alright, Logan? Closing arguments and why we should vote for you?
all I'm trying to do in this campaign is to bring absolute change to this city. I've tried to do it for the last time, and obviously I had some good competitors, and I still do up to this point. Mr. Prescott is very passionate about what he's trying to do, and I completely respect that, and I love seeing newcomers come onto the system and try to give their all to this city, like Claire is already doing as our current mayor. She's already doing good enough to benefit our society and change from the previous mayor before, which was me. But other than that, I want to bring change and a lot of other factors that will help make the city better and stricter, punish people and give stricter enforcements to those who disagree with certain things I'm trying to pass, because I'm not going to deal with lawbreakers. I don't think the police want to deal with them. The police already have enough on their plate in the first place, and we need to change that. And if you vote for me, you will definitely get the change you need, and the violence will be reduced if you do vote. But please, even if you don't decide to vote in this election, that's okay. And I recommend you do vote, because there are two great candidates up here who are wanting this position as badly as each other do want it. Me and Prescott both want this position equally. And just voting and going out there and vote, even if you don't want to, would still be a great way to benefit to the society. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, Daniel?
Okay, so my closing statement is, well, I'm pretty sure you're probably wondering what I'll do with the money I get as mayor, and that is going to be all funded towards the police and EMS, all donated, as well as any other charitable places that could use the money. And my prison reform is what I'm really backing on, helping prisoners get more productive members of society. I just think that will lower crimes, and it'll definitely help the police, and it'll provide more job opportunities for the lovely citizens. I only care about the citizens. I want to make sure the citizens are happy and safe. Nothing more, nothing less. It's all about you, the citizens, that make this city great. And thank you for those who work hard every day to keep the city safe and do legal things and don't commit crimes. Thank you. Vote for me, Daniel Prescott,
Amazing.
for mayor.
Good job.
Right, there we have it. So the vote will be closing on 30th of October. Wait, hold on.